chicken fajitas. I'm one of those people who likes to cook things in the microwave. And if you're one of those people who doesn't know how to cook, this is a very easy thing to make. First, you need to go to the grocery store and buy some boneless, skinless chicken, some flour tortillas, salsa, 1 green pepper, 1 red pepper, and an onion. Then you take the chicken and you cut it on a cutting board into small pieces and cook it in a big wok pan. You should cook it and make sure it's thoroughly cooked, because if it's a little raw in the middle, you could get very sick. When the chicken is thoroughly cooked, you take it out of the pan and put it onto a plate. And now you want to cut the vegetables. But before you cut the vegetables, you want to make sure that you wash off the cutting board and the knife so that, again, you don't get sick from the raw chicken that was just on there. You cut the green pepper, and you want to make sure you take the core out of the green pepper and cut it into small pieces. And cut the onion into small pieces. And when you cut the onion, you might start crying. Then you cut the red pepper, and it's just like the green pepper. You cut the core out, and then you slice it into pieces, and then you cut it the opposite way into small squares. Now you need to add some oil to the pan before you cook the vegetables, because the vegetables don't have any fat in them like the chicken does. So if you don't put any oil in the pan, they will stick to the bottom of the pan. Then you put the vegetables in the pan and cook them for a few minutes until they're slightly crisp and brown. Now you add the chicken back into the pan, and I also forgot to mention earlier that you need to buy a packet of chicken fajita spice mix at the store. You add that into the pan with the chicken and the vegetables and 1 cup of water. And you put this now onto your lower heat and mix it for a few minutes, and the water will thicken up into a nice, thick sauce. You will now take the tortillas and just pop them in the microwave for a minute. And now you take the fajita mixture, put it in a bowl, and you can just have a little nice buffet, and you should serve 5 to 6 people, and it makes a nice dinner. One, go. Hi, my name is Ella Perkin, and I'm going to give you directions on how to make chicken fajitas. I'm one of those people who likes to cook things in a microwave. And if you're one of those people who doesn't know how to cook, this is a very easy thing to make. First, you need to go to the grocery store and buy some boneless, skinless chicken. Some flour tortillas, salsa, 1 green pepper, 1 red pepper, and an onion. Then you take the chicken and you cut it on a cutting board into small pieces. And you cook it in a big wok pan. And you should cook it and make sure it's thoroughly cooked, because if it's a little raw in the middle, you could get very sick. When the chicken is thoroughly cooked, you take it out of the pan and you put it onto a plate. But before you cut the vegetables, you want to make sure that you wash off the cutting board and the knife so that, again, you don't get sick from the raw chicken that was just on there. You cut the green pepper, and you want to make sure that you take the core out of the green pepper and cut it into small pieces. I cut the onion into small pieces. And when you cut the onion, you might start crying. Then you cut the red pepper, and it's just like the green pepper. You cut the core out, and then you slice it into pieces, and then cut it the opposite way into small squares. Now you need to add some oil into the pan before you cook the vegetables, because the vegetables don't have any fat in them like chicken does. So if you don't put any oil in the pan, they will stick to the bottom of the pan. Then you put the vegetables into the pan and cook them for a few minutes so they're slightly crisp and brown. Now you can add the chicken back into the pan. I also forgot to mention earlier that you need to buy a packet of chicken fajita spice You add that into the pan with the chicken and the vegetables, add 1 cup of water. You put this now on the lower heat and mix it for a few minutes, and the water will thicken up into a nice thick sauce. You will now take the tortillas and just pop them in the microwave for a minute. And now take the fajita mixture, put it into a bowl, and you can have just a nice little buffet, and this should serve 5 to 6 people, and it makes a nice dinner.